I did manage to take a screenshot, which might not have been saved, but.
All right, well, you're sitting there, you can go ahead and just, start chatting.
Go ahead.
Hey, it's good to see you again. I got to watch Thursday's game back. Wasn't always the prettiest, but at this time, it's good to get a win in any way. What would you like to see a little bit sharper or adjusted from Thursday's game to tonight?
Yeah, I think it's hard to simulate how physical, how talented they are defensively until you actually experience it. So I was proud of our fight, our tenacity, our toughness coming out at halftime. We got to talk about it. We got to talk about, this is what we tried to show you, this is what they're about. And we did a better job, certainly. So we've lived through it. So I'd love to see from the beginning us to be able to handle the physicality. We have to be able to keep our turnovers low. They thrive off the bat. We can't get caught up on who's playing, right? Their injury report has some key players that may or may not play, but there's always unintended consequences. Potentially, they could put even a more athletic, a more dynamic defensive team on the floor. So we have different challenges, and we have to be ready regardless of who they roll out there tonight. I said these are the two best defensive teams in terms of keeping the score low. I jokingly said first one to 60 would win these games. We were the first one to 60 the other night. We averaged about 14 points giving up a quarter, minus that huge second quarter by them, which is the largest amount of points we've given up in a quarter of the year. So you take away that snapshot of the second quarter, we were holding them to approximately, give or take, 14 points. So, we really, really have to guard. They're really talented. They're really athletic. They score more baskets unassisted than anyone in the league. So when things break down, they have the ability to still go make plays. They have the ability to be a one-on-one team. So I'd love to be able to guard later in the shot clock, mano a mano, one-on-one. That one-on-one pride tonight is a challenge for our team. And then can we shrink the floor? How do we shrink the floor and make those one-on-one opportunities later more difficult?
Offensively, Rayon said this morning something about spacing. Where do you find what happened Thursday, spacing wise, that you felt could be improved tonight?
Yeah, they do such a good job when you get on the sideline of keeping you there. They're a nice team or a down team, however you want to describe it on the broadcast. And they keep you on one side of the floor and they triangle behind it. So there's a lot of people midline and over when the ball is on the side. If you can flip sides of the floor and you can get the ball from side to side, advantage goes to the offense against LA. But it's easier said than done. And so we've talked about it. We've talked about how we have to flip sides of the floor. We can't avoid sideline actions. But again, the tunnel between the lane lines is an area when LA starts to really disrupt you on the sideline. You've got to be effective in the tunnel. So I think, reiterating what Brienne's trying to talk about is we can't have the ball stick and we can't get stuck on one side of the floor. The ball's got to move and we've got to flip sides of the court at times in order to create better opportunities for us.
And then specifically on Breon Jones, just what do you expect from LA as far as their adjustments? Because she really had away last week.
Yeah, I think that I don't expect a lot of schematic changes for them. They're really physical. They do what they do and they roll it out every night. There'll be tweaks on certain plays, on certain actions that we run, and we'll have to adjust. But they believe in what they do, and rightfully so. They're really talented at what they do defensively. So it's going to be physical. They're going to be really disruptive in how we handle that, but we got to establish again paint. Paint's important for both teams, and we got to continue to find ways to ball the paint.
My last one is composure easier said than done? Is that because, as you said before Thursday's game, you watch a lot on film, and then once you actually see it and feel it, you can feel it a bit, I'm sure, in the first and second quarters.
Yeah, it's again, you live through it once, you hope that you can handle it and be better, but at times it feels like a football game. It's that physical. Everything's difficult, every catch is difficult, every cut is difficult, and every dribble is difficult because they're up in you. So yeah, composure is important, and you hope that the game is called where there can be some free-flowing movement, because if not, these are two really physical defensive teams.
And coach, just because it's my first time back live with you guys since before the break, where do you think that you guys are continuing to improve since you returned from Olympic break?
I think that turnover ratio is really important for us with the pace that we play at, hitting shots on goal. But I like our belief in what we do. There's a belief with us winning 7 straight. There's a belief with us, 11-1 or whatever. We haven't lost since July 3rd, right? In a regular season game. It's almost September. We're 12-1 at home. So I all that's to say is there's a lot of ways to win a basketball game. And we're finding those ways. And even through rough patches, and everybody's going to have runs against us in this league, we've stuck to it. They hold each other accountable. They allow me to challenge them when appropriate. And this is a group that has confidence that they can fight, scratch and claw their way to the finish line, and I appreciate that.
Alexa, do you have anything from the car?
Yeah. I couldn't hear all the questions super well, so if someone asked this, I apologize. But I was curious when you looked back at the second quarter specifically. You did mention, you guys allowed 29 points. Was there anything in particular, like just defensive breakdown wise, that you saw when you looked back that really stuck out, or was that just a matter of it's very uncharacteristic and you're not expecting to have that sort of performance again tonight?
Yeah, you credit them, they played well, but Alexa, I think there's a stretch in there that it goes back to that one-on-one pride. It wasn't always an action, it wasn't always a play that was giving us trouble. It was players making plays. Then they were having good stretches that way. And again, what's that challenge? Okay, we've got to get in the stance, and we've got to have some one-on-one pride. But can we help those people that feel like an island at times? Like LA's going to put you on an island with their one-on-one ability, but can we shrink the floor? Can we use our length and make some of those one-on-one lanes look more congested, look crowded? Can they hesitate? And then we got to compete. We got to compete in those one-on-one opportunities. But it wasn't one thing. There was a couple actions that they got us. We turned it over. We fouled. But if you ask me one big thing, they had a really good quarter one-on-one out of system, and we've got to have more pride in that situation.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Well, Coach, thank you.